I, 32M, am the success story of my family. In my house, that's just code for being the person expected to pay for everything while being treated like a secondary character in my own life. I'm a software architect, I work insane hours, and I finally reached a point where I could splurge. For Christmas, I booked a $8,000 luxury chalet in Aspen, 5 bedrooms, a private chef for Christmas Eve, and enough views to fill a gallery. I paid for it all. The rental, the deposits, the catering, and the rental SUVs to get everyone up the mountain. My family includes my mother, my father, my older sister, 35F, her husband, and their 3 kids. My sister has always been the golden child, despite being a walking financial disaster. She and her husband live a life they can't afford, mostly funded by my parents' retirement and my loans that never get paid back. The plan was to meet at my parents' place and drive up together. I had the digital keys and the confirmation emails on my phone. The cracks started appearing 2 weeks ago. My sister started a group chat without me. I only found out because my mother accidentally sent a screenshot of a conversation to the main thread. In it, my sister said, "It's going to be so much better with just us. The kids won't have to deal with his rules or his mood." I ignored it, thinking it was her usual noise. Then, 3 days before the trip, my father called me. He sounded awkward, clearing his throat every 5 seconds. He told me that since my sister and her husband had a hard year, they needed some nuclear family bonding time. He actually said, "We think it's best if you sit this one out this year. You don't have a family of your own yet, so you wouldn't get the magic we're trying to create for the grandkids. Just email us the door codes and the rental agreements." I was stunned. I asked him if he really expected me to pay $8,000 to watch them have a vacation on Instagram. My mother jumped on the extension and told me not to be like that, saying I have so much money and this should be my Christmas gift to them. She told me to send the info over so they could plan room assignments. I didn't argue. I realized I wasn't a son to them. I was an ATM. So I took care of it. I called the rental agency. Because I had platinum insurance, I canceled the whole thing for a 90% refund. I canceled the chalet, the chef, the SUVs, and the $600 grocery order. Then I turned off my phone. On the 22nd, I turned my phone back on at 4:15 p.m., right when they should have been checking in. I had over 100 texts and 40 missed calls. My sister was texting that the code wasn't working and the kids were cold. My father was frantic, saying the management company told him there was no reservation. I called my father back on speaker. He started screaming, asking where the hell I was. I told him I was at home. I told him I took his advice and sat this one out. Since I wasn't going to be there to experience the magic, I didn't see why I should pay for it. The silence was massive. Then my sister started screaming in the background that she'd already posted "We're here" photos on Facebook. My father was yelling that we were 4 hours from home, it was snowing, and every hotel was booked or $3,000 a night. I told him it sounded like a nuclear family problem and hung up. The next few hours were a mess of dirty tricks. My mother sent photos of my nieces crying. My sister's husband, a paralegal who thinks he's a trial lawyer, sent me a long text about promissory estoppel and threatened to sue me for emotional distress. I told him good luck proving a gift is a binding contract in Colorado when they uninvited the person giving the gift. Then, my banking app flagged a $5,400 transaction at a boutique hotel. My sister had my card info saved on a shared account and tried to force a booking. I didn't just decline it. I reported the card as stolen. This froze her Apple Pay and every digital wallet she had. It got worse for them. Since I'd canceled the SUV rentals and told the agency I wouldn't be picking them up, my father tried to use a photo of my ID to take the cars anyway. The agency flagged it as identity fraud. A local deputy ended up at their 2-star motel, the only place they could find 40 miles away, to demand the cars back because I hadn't authorized other drivers. My father called me, sounding small. He said they were going to be stranded. I told him I was just following the rules, like he always taught me. I blocked them all and went to a high-end steakhouse in my own city. The real twist came on the 26th. I found a PDF on our shared family cloud drive. It was a pitch deck my sister made called Family Restoration Project. My parents weren't just looking for a vacation. They were in deep financial trouble. They had taken a second mortgage to fund my sister's failed business and were weeks from foreclosure. The whole plan was to get me in a giving mood at the chalet and then hit me up for $150,000 to save the house. By uninviting me, they lost the only person who could save them. When they got back to town, they didn't go home. They came to my apartment. My sister tried to push past me into my place, clutching that folder. She told me I was having a temper tantrum and they needed to talk about the house. I didn't move. I told them I saw the foreclosure filings. My mother started the waterworks, asking how I could be so cold to my family. I told them they gave me a bill, not a family. My sister threatened to sue me for implied support because I'd been giving my parents an allowance. I laughed and told her that unless there's a signed contract, I have zero obligation to fund them, but I do have records of all the loans she never paid back. I told her my accountant was already pulling the ledgers for a countersuit. She went white. I told them to go be a unit in my sister's rental and shut the door. They banged on it for an hour until I called the police to report a disturbance. The house went to auction 3 months later. My parents are in a tiny apartment, and my sister's husband left her once he realized the Bank of Brother was closed for good. I'm currently looking at travel brochures for Tokyo. Just one ticket. If you think this family's investment plan was as bankrupt as their morals, subscribe. I promise my stories won't cost you $8,000 a week.